guys, good morning. It's RG here, and welcome to RG Avenue Studio, where we bring to you Work It Wednesday. Wednesdays is the opportunity that we have to work in either an older set that we haven't played with or a brand new set that we haven't had the opportunity to showcase. And today I'm going to go way back to last year when we launched this amazing baddie new set. So let's go ahead and switch over to our top view, and we are going to play with Fantastic. This was actually last year's holiday release, and I thought I would take it out of my stamp stash to be able to play with it a little bit and bring this project to life. So here with me in the studio, I've got David, who's just kind of working the dashboard back there,
Hello, guys.
playing with a few things. And we are actually going to start stamping some of these pieces to be able to bring these projects and idea to life. So I hope that you guys are all doing an amazing day today on this beautiful Wednesday, and that you are feeling inspired and ready to bring paper to life. I'm actually going to play with scraps because I have them, so why not? Can you give me the tote that's in my craft room, please? With my markers. All right, so I absolutely prefer I love this sentiment the most. I think it's hilarious. So I'm just gonna use these two. And again, this is just our playtime, our opportunity to work in some project inspiration and a project share. So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp the Booyah as well as my bat. Maybe do that one more time. Thank you. Make sure I've got that corner filled in. Perfect. I absolutely love this set. I love the size of the set. I love the size of the bats. And I had so much fun with it last year that I definitely want to bring this guy out once more for a fun little project share. Now, I don't know how many of you actually send out Halloween cards. I personally don't send out any Halloween cards, but I do create a lot of Halloween treats. And so I love adding a card in a treat. Like, for example, if it's a basket for a neighbor or something like that, then I love adding a little card in the mix. But I don't actually send any in the mail. I don't know, I just never have. I feel like I send treats more than I send cards for Halloween. I do send Thanksgiving cards out to special peeps, and also obviously Christmas cards, but other than that, it's typically associated to some sort of gift or treat idea. All right, so I'm gonna grab my markers just to be able to add a little bit of color.
Sandra Cruz says hello. Lori
Hi, Sandra.
Joanne Miller.
Hi, Joanne.
Cindy
Thanks for
Becker,
joining us, guys.
Christy. They're all in here.
Thanks for jumping on board and connecting with us. Now, I'm going to add a little purple vibe to my bat, which is very unlike me, actually. Usually I'm pretty linear when it comes to that, but this time I have a reason for it. So I'm going to just create a little bit of shadowing here. Just add a little bit. And I'm actually going to bring it around the Booyah, and I'll show you why in a minute. Just a little extra. I'm gonna just bring in a light. I don't like to go cycle killer coloring, but I am adding just a hint of color to my bat. I don't want those lines to be too stark, so and he's pretty sassy. He's pretty sassy with his booyah anyway, so. All right, super cool. I'm going to go ahead and grab my scissors to cut around them. And it's just such a cute set. I know many of you of our RG community already have this set because it actually released last year. I want to say it only released as a digi though last year. And then of course we turned it into a real stamp later on in the year. So by October it was a real stamp. Which I actually prefer a stamp over a digi, believe it or not. Just because I love the fact that I'm not wasting paper and.
You love a digi more than a stamp, or a stamp more than a digi?
A stamp more than the digi, because I can use scraps and I can use, you know, just like leftovers versus having to always print a full sheet.
I feel like you get more creative opportunities if it's in person.
Yeah, it's definitely more. And then if I wanted to emboss it, I could emboss it. If I wanted to get Psycho Killer, I can go Psycho Killer. Stamp multiple bats, offset, all that kind of stuff. All right, super cute, my little bat. Now I want the booyah. Booyah, he's so booyah-ish. Now the reason why I went around with the marker is because I don't want a whole lot of white around my sentiment. This one's like my favorite sentiment. I think he's so cool, so sassy. So adorable. So it's gonna go right on top of the bat, which is why I added some of those little hints of color so that it just blends in perfectly. When in doubt, pop it out. I'm gonna pop this guy right out just using some foam squares here. Gonna go booyah. So cute. All right. I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit more. You can see my little bat is ready for some action here. I'm gonna grab my card layers, and for this one I've got some gray stuff as my card base. Just gonna fold this guy in half.
Cindy Baker says she also loves the stamps,
I
but
love
she
the stamps.
likes to use the digis because the ladies in her class love them.
So that's good. See, if you have a particular audience for it, and it does save space. Like that's why we launched the digis, because I feel like, oh, you know, some people are moving more to the digi world and they don't necessarily want all of that space. But you know, now they're pretty flat and they're easy to. It's just your preference. Like I love the stamps because I love stamps, and I love doing different techniques with stamps and things like that. So we're just all kind of different in that sense. But because digis are a thing, I definitely wanted to make sure we made our images available via a digital form, so that if that's what you were into, we certainly have space for you in that regard. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a marker and I'm just going to add a little bit of highlight. I've got a cutout. So see what's going to happen here. I got a cutout spider web, and not all of it is going to show, but I just want to make sure that I'm adding just a little bit of a glow outside. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to add a little bit of a distressed element, if you will. So I'm just kind of following. So just very minimal, but I'm going to bring this on board and it's just going to create all that gunkiness. You see how that just kind of turned out just by adding a little bit with a marker. When in doubt, pop this guy out. We're going to pop that out one more time just for that extra level of layers and fun and extra. We want to make it a little extra. Right down the middle, I'm going to grab some liquid glue. And I'm going to bring in my spider web to fit right within that space. So again, it just adds a little bit of extra texture, dimension. I love it. And of course, you guessed it, our little bat is going to fit right on top of that. But not before I add a little bit of twine to the mix. I love the fluff. Especially, for example, if maybe this is going to go with a box of chocolates for a neighbor, or if it's going to go with maybe some treats for the neighbor's kids, or some coworkers, or whomever's going to get this treat. We definitely want to make it a little extra special. So I'm just going to adhere that also with some liquid glue. And when in doubt, we're going to pop this out one more time, this time using a foam square right on the very top. I love the twine. I love how it's just right underneath my bat here. And because I'm not going to necessarily send this in the mail, because it's going to go with a treat of some sort, I'm going to add some foam squares. And bring it into my card base for that extra level of sass. So we're going to grab some pearls. Bring some pearls into the mix. I'm looking for my, there we go. Just going to bring in some pearls into the mix. Love these guys. They just scream Halloween. And a little bit of splattering will create some magic here. I feel like I splatter everything now, and I'm okay with it. Don't judge me. So we're just gonna bring in that splatter magic that just gives us that midnight feel in this particular project. And last but not least, a little bit of dazzle from our very own Dazzling Pat to make this Halloween card spooktacular. Beautiful. So check it out, guys. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see our gorgeous. You can see that dazzle. Booyah. Wouldn't that be fun to get in a basket with some treats, with some fruit, with some candy, with some chocolate to celebrate that especially haunting time of year. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this fun, quick and easy project to be able to create for the holidays that are lurking just around the corner. I can't wait to see what you create with this little bit of inspiration. Remember to continue to create and capture so that we can bring hope to those around us. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you here next Wednesday. Adios.